In this video, we're going to be going over lipids. So some things that you have to know about lipids is they're made up of a couple of elements every single time. So they always contain carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, and sulfur. They also have no distinct monomer because they're made up of different things inside of they're made up of different things. So there are three different major types of lipids. So first of all, we have triglycerides, and this is made up of a glycerol and 3 fatty acids. And the main function is energy storage for this type of lipid. Energy storage. Your triglycerides are storing your energy. Now, secondly, we have our phospholipids. These make up the phospholipid bilayer, your semi-permeable bilayer that is your cell membrane. So a key feature of it is it's amphipathic, and it also forms the cell membrane. Now, our third type of lipid are steroids. So you can think about your steroids, so 4 fused rings, and your hormones. So think of testosterone and estrogen and membrane stability. So that's going to be cholesterol. And a key thing that you really have to know about lipids is the difference between saturated and unsaturated. So saturated means you have no double bonds, and this is usually going to be a solid at room temperature. Now, on the other hand, if you have saturated, you have double bonds. This is when you have double bonds. And when you have double bonds, this will create kinks and also liquid. For unsaturated, I meant to write unsaturated, saturated. And now, continuing on with this, they have no true monomers. Energy storage, cell membrane. Steroids, they have 4 fused. These are hydrocarbon rings. The cholesterol is the precursor. It's the precursor of the other steroids. Now, you can think of, for example, this molecule here. You have HO, 1, 2, like this. And what's really important is that we draw out an example of a saturated versus unsaturated. So for saturated, you can imagine that you have something like this, a really long molecule. So OC1OH. So it's going to be C. Okay, C, okay, 1, 2, and 3, and so as you can see, there are no double bonds. You only see single bonds. and when we're talking about that, we're referring to this like region here. There are no double bonds. But let's say that we have an unsaturated fatty acid, unsaturated. So this is gonna be about right here. We have at our fifth, we have a point where it kind of slants. So we have, instead of that, we have bonds here, C, H, double bonded to C, and then we have a C, and then we have a C, and then H here, H, 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 H. Now, let's discuss proteins. So proteins, they're made up of amino acids, and also, let's bring this down here, okay. So proteins are made up of the elements CHOMP, carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, phosphorus. So they're made up of amino acids, and they are linked by peptide bonds. And they also fold into 3D shape. So you know the sequence, the structure, and the function. So amino acid structure. Every single one has our group is very important. So for example, we can talk about the R group and its properties.